Hi, my name is Sade Thomas. I did my district profile on Dublin Unified School District, which is located in Dublin, California. It's more in Northern California. I chose Dublin Unified because it is a school district that I had previously attended. I've been to several school districts throughout my educational career as a student and have seen schools in San Bernardino where it didn't have as much money, and then have seen this school that definitely had a lot more money than previous schools that I had been to. So I thought it'd be interesting to look at a school district that's different than one that I currently work at. In this school district, there are 542 certificated staff members and 326 classified staff. And then I've listed the elementary schools, the middle school, and the high school. And I attended Dublin High School for sophomore and junior year. Within the school, there are 7 elementary schools. There are 2 middle schools, 1 high school, and 1 continuation school. And within the elementary school, it's a 23 student to 1 teacher ratio. And that's something that I definitely don't have at my school. In my classroom, I have 34 students, and I know a lot of people that I work with throughout the district also have very high numbers like that for upper grade. Middle school and high school is a 22 student to 1 teacher ratio. And then the continuation school I thought was very interesting. I've never really looked into continuation school before, but knowing that they only had 56 students with a 7 student to 1 teacher ratio. So a total of 9,965 students are enrolled throughout all of those schools. Some defining characteristics. I thought it was really awesome that the website made it easy for people to just go in and see what their goals are and see what their mission statement is. And the district definitely has a vision of all students becoming lifelong learners. It's something they mention throughout many pages on their website. Their goals, every student will improve his or her academic performance each year by demonstrating college and career readiness, meeting the district's rigorous and relevant 21st century standards for graduation, being proficient in Algebra 2, meeting literacy and math benchmarks at 3rd, 5th, and 8th grade levels, and attending and actively engaging in learning every day. The mission for the school district. Our mission is to ensure that every student becomes a lifelong learner by providing a rigorous and relevant 21st century education that builds resilience and prepares them for college and career or service to our country and for success in the global economy. So, students becoming lifelong learners and this 21st century has been a theme throughout a lot of documents that I've looked through for this assignment. It's something that the district is very passionate about and that they're trying to instill within their students. The demographics, there is a 13% Hispanic population, 49% Asian, 4% African American, 26 Caucasian, and then Pacific Islander and other didn't have a large enough group to register as a percentage, but those numbers are listed there. Some programs within the school district, they have an EL, English language program, Title III eligible students, a GATE program, and a special education program, and then programs for socioeconomic disadvantaged students. And within this school district, it's definitely a lot different than where I currently work. Here, they have a 15% population of students who are high needs, students that are low income or learning English, or students who are in foster care. And that's a much smaller number than the school district that I currently work in. And then they also have a 96% graduation rate, which is pretty high after looking at this school district in mine. I kept kind of going back and forth between the two because I was just so surprised seeing these numbers and wanted to see how my district compared to this one. So I did a lot of like going back and forth between the two. Financial trends. This picture kind of breaks down how much money the district has. So they had a total of $77,623,988. And then each line breaks it down into where that money would be allocated. There's certificated personnel salaries, classified personnel salaries, the employee health benefits, books and supplies, and then other spending. And then the revenue, the money that the school made, was $78,838,020. And I apologize if these pictures are kind of blurry. The strategic plan or the LCAP. Looking at this document, it was definitely overwhelming. It was over 100 pages, so it was a lot of information to go through and try and figure out what everything meant. But after looking at it, I did find 3 goals that were listed within the LCAP. And goal number 1, we will maximize student learning and achievement by providing a rigorous and relevant 21st century education that prepares every student for college and career and success in the global economy. So again, they're talking about that 21st century skills, that education, something that just was a common theme throughout a lot of things that I found on the websites. Goal number 2 will provide an environment that maximizes student learning and builds resilience so that all students are engaged and supported with their social, emotional, behavioral, and physical needs in a safe learning environment. And goal 3, we will align resources and establish partnerships to maximize student learning. Goal number 3 I thought was interesting because it talks about building partnerships. So whether that's partnerships with student and teacher relationships, building upon that, or partnerships with parents and teacher. I thought it was interesting that they put that in there. Maybe it was something that they didn't have previously and that they wanted to work towards. So I think having that partnership between teacher and parents and teacher and student can make a huge difference in your classroom. Some recent changes. The school district is currently working on building a new elementary school, and then they have plans to build another new school within the next 5 years. And one of the goals that they discussed in their LCAP was providing a safe environment for students, being social emotional. They want to hire more counselors, so they have a need for that, and they'd like to get all of their staff CPR trained. And then they are working on developing and testing new curriculum, piloting some new math and language arts curriculum, and then looking at science because of those new generation standards changing. They need to find new curriculum that would go with that, which I think is kind of a theme throughout most districts, trying to find new curriculum that kind of goes with these new standards that we have. Strengths, because this district is so big on the 21st century skills, they are also very big in technology. All students have access to individual Chromebooks, and then within that, with electives, there are lots of technology-based electives, whether it's robotics or coding, or having the primary students just working on their computers. And I think one of the biggest strengths is their small class size because it's 23 or 22 students to one teacher. You're able to build a better classroom community and really focus in on areas of needs for those students. It's a little bit of a smaller portion of students, so you can really help them and do small group a lot easier than if you had 34 or even more students. And then another strength was their state test scores. Sorry. Their test scores for English language arts overall, I combined the level 3, the standards met, and the level 4 with the standards exceeded. And their English language arts, 79% of students either met or exceeded the grade level standards. And then in math, I combined the same thing, and 73% of students either met or exceeded the grade level standards. And to me, this was just like eye-opening. Um, my school district scores are definitely not this good, and it's something that we're striving towards. But seeing that it is possible is really inspiring. We've only been doing these tests for a couple of years, and the school district has already scored so well. So I can imagine in the next few years, those scores are just going to increase even more. Some challenges that the school district faces, and in relation to those test scores, there's an achievement gap between the English language students and the socioeconomically disadvantaged students. While it was a small portion, it was only 9% English language and 8% of the socioeconomically disadvantaged students. It is still something that is an achievement gap between the two groups. This challenge is one that the district is aware of, and they're trying to meet the needs of these students by doing RTI or response to intervention. Um, but it's something that is going to take some time to try and close that gap. And because of the LCAP discussing the safety and the wellness of students socially, emotionally, and I previously discussed the counselors, I did find in their district site plan that there was a lack of on site counselors, and there was a lack of performing arts and visual arts within the school district. Some recommendations: professional development, focusing in on the Common Core and next generation science standards, trying to find district adopted programs, curriculum that they can use to help correlate with those new standards. And then, because of the achievement gap, response to intervention training, especially for those new teachers, it can be overwhelming. You hear all of these acronyms and RTI, but what does that mean and what does that look like in the classroom? So providing training specifically in that area could maybe help them close that achievement gap and give support to those English language and socioeconomically disadvantaged students. And then providing English language support and development through designated EL time, providing training for teachers on how to do that, what that looks like. Uh, I did see on their website that they are doing a new teacher boot camp. So when teachers get hired, they have to go through certain training so that way everyone kind of has the same lingo and is kind of on the same field and the same page of how the school district should be running, which is something that my district does. Everyone gets the same training. We have year one and year two trainings that you have to go to. And to me, they're very helpful. So seeing other districts do that is, I think, a great thing. And then because of the lack of the arts program, they can start building that up, even starting small by doing one school at a time, putting arts in there. I know that at the high school level, because I attended it, that they have a performing arts, a really big performing arts piece actually. But seeing that in middle school and in the elementary levels, I think would be a success. And kids love arts and performing arts, so I think that that would be a really great place to start. Some sources that I used their own personal website. They had tons of information on there. And then the LCAP website, along with some with EdData and the CDE website. And that was my district profile. Thank you so much.